With hundreds of channels and streaming services like Netflix, Apple TV, and Disney Plus at our fingertips, there's never been more TV shows to choose from. Today, it's easier than ever to turn the TV or a device on to binge-watch the latest series or revisit award-winning classics. But it's not unusual to reminisce about your favorite television shows from the past and wish some would reappear on our screens or even be rebooted. So let's look through the old books to find old TV shows that have been forgotten for a long time. Number 1. My Favorite Martian. Ray Walston, Bill Bixby, Alan Hewitt, and Pamela Britton were the main characters in My Favorite Martian, which first aired on September 29, 1963. The show spanned 3 seasons, and with inflation factored in, each episode was estimated to cost around $70,000 to produce. During the 1960s, the idea of life on other planets captivated America, especially with the nation's determination to reach the moon, ultimately achieved by the end of the decade. Meanwhile, shows like My Favorite Martian kept viewers intrigued. This CBS production, spanning 3 seasons, was overseen by Jack Chertok, who entrusted John L. Green with crafting the main plotlines and characters. The first 2 seasons comprised a total of 75 episodes, with the 3rd season consisting of 32 episodes. This era marked a time when networks produced a higher number of episodes per season compared to earlier periods. The premise of the show centered around a young reporter who encounters an alien with a human-like appearance. Choosing to help the alien fix his broken spaceship, the reporter allows him to stay, leading to various comedic adventures. Initially, the show garnered popularity, drawing comparisons to other beloved sitcoms like I Dream of Jeannie and Bewitched, which were also thriving at the time. However, by the 3rd season, the show's ratings declined significantly, prompting CBS to discontinue it. Number 2. Tales of Tomorrow. While American Horror Story has undoubtedly revived interest in the anthology genre over the past decade, the roots of such storytelling can be traced back to earlier classics like The Twilight Zone. Tales of Tomorrow, for instance, served as a significant influence on subsequent series, featuring versatile actors like Lon Chaney Jr. and Thomas Mitchell in various roles. Compared to the longer format of modern shows like Netflix's American Horror Story, episodes of Tales from Tomorrow were relatively shorter, typically lasting only 25 minutes each. Despite its brevity, the series, comprised of 85 captivating black and white episodes, presented imaginative retellings of classic tales such as Frankenstein and 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, often shown in a new light. Each installment of Tales of Tomorrow explored a different narrative, with live broadcasts airing on ABC. Notable guest appearances by actors like Boris Karloff and Leslie Nielsen added to the show's allure. Although it lasted only 2 seasons, the significant number of episodes, 85 in total, attests to its lasting impact. Despite often being overshadowed by The Twilight Zone, Tales of Tomorrow deserves recognition as a precursor to the iconic series. Number 3. Family Affair. In Family Affair, Bill Davis seems to have everything one could desire. He enjoys a thriving career as a civil engineer and relishes the bachelor lifestyle in his beautiful Manhattan apartment, complete with a dedicated staff to cater to his needs. However, his carefree existence takes an unexpected turn when tragedy strikes. His brother and sister-in-law perish in a car accident, leaving behind their 3 children, who come to live with Bill. Initially, Bill and his staff are resistant to the idea of having children disrupt their lives. They recoil from the newfound responsibility and are hesitant to deal with the challenges of raising kids. However, as time passes, they gradually lower their defenses and develop deep affection for the children, forming a bond that transforms them into a new, unconventional family unit. With a runtime of over 135 episodes, Family Affair struck a chord with audiences during its airing from the mid-60s to the early 70s. While it may not frequently feature in discussions about the greatest family sitcoms, The show offers comedic charm with its memorable side characters, including the unmistakable presence of French, who is definitely not just a maid, and the endearingly quirky laugh track. Number 4. Bourbon Street Beat. In the 1950s, amidst the rise of various chains like Dunkin' Donuts and Denny's, Bourbon Street Beat emerged as one of the earliest television series centered around a private detective agency. Produced by Warner Brothers Studios, the show failed to attain the same level of popularity as its counterparts. Despite sharing a similar format, the premise centered on characters Rex Randolph, portrayed by Long, and Cal Calhoun, played by Duggan, as they tackled cases across 39 episodes before the series' demise. However, Rex found redemption with a move to 77 Sunset Strip, reintroduced as a new character, while Cal made a brief appearance before exiting his police job for good. Richard Long, Andrew Duggan, Arlene Howell, and Van Williams took on the main roles in the series, which debuted on October 5, 1959. The show ran for one season, although the estimated production cost remains unknown. Dark private eye dramas have long held a special place in the hearts of viewers, with iconic shows like Columbo and Murder, She Wrote enjoying enduring popularity. Regrettably, Bourbon Street Beat failed to strike the right chord with audiences, leading to its cancellation after just one season. Number 5. Lassie. Lassie holds the distinction of being one of the longest-running scripted shows in the U.S., featuring a beloved collie of the same name as its star. Across its 19 seasons, audiences grew fond of both the canine protagonist and the humans in her orbit. Initially, the focus rested on the Miller family, particularly Ellen, who navigates life on their farm following the loss of her husband during the war. Assisting her is Gramps, Ellen's father-in-law, and her son Tommy, forming a close-knit trio that learns to adapt to their new reality with the loyal companionship of Lassie. Despite its influence, Lassie often remains overlooked in contemporary discussions. What set the show apart was its departure from the norm, as Lassie's adventures extended beyond just one family. Throughout the series, she found herself alongside various two-legged companions, including other farm families, rangers, and equestrians. Occasionally, Lassie embarked on solo journeys, forging bonds with other animals along the way. While the series may lack the flashy elements of modern television, its straightforward storytelling and endearing simplicity were the keys to its enduring charm over nearly 2 decades. Number 6. Shotgun Slade. During the 1950s, Western TV shows and films dominated the entertainment landscape, but by the decade's end, audiences were growing weary of the genre's predictability. Shotgun Slade emerged as a breath of fresh air, offering a cross-genre blend of Western and mystery elements. This unique approach garnered popularity, especially with notable guest stars like Gene Cooper, Walter Coy, and Ernie Kovacs, who were household names at the time. Setting itself apart, Shotgun Slade featured a modern jazz score, a departure from the typical Western soundtrack. The titular character, Slade, operates as a private investigator, a deviation from the traditional cowboy archetype. Across its 2 seasons and 78 episodes, the show provided a significant boost to Scott Brady's career. Post-Shotgun Slade, Brady continued to find success in various TV shows and movies, with his most notable role being Sheriff Frank in the 1984 film Gremlins. Scott Brady takes on the lead role, debuting on TV screens on October 24, 1959. The series spans 2 seasons, with an estimated production cost of $52,000 per episode when adjusted for inflation. Number 7. Benson. Benson Dubois lands a job as the head of household for Governor Eugene X. Gatling and his family following the passing of the matriarch. While his responsibilities initially adhere to the typical duties of such a position, Benson swiftly becomes entangled in the personal and political affairs of the governor, his daughter Katie, and the rest of the household staff. Renowned for his witty remarks and his knack for maintaining composure even in the most absurd circumstances, Benson quickly became a beloved character throughout the late 70s and 80s. Prior to his role in Benson, viewers were introduced to Benson Dubois in Soap, a sitcom centered around two families, with Benson serving as the butler to one of them. With Benson, fans had the opportunity to delve deeper into this charismatic character's story, enjoying him as the focal point of the show. Despite its popularity during its airing, the series gradually faded from public memory after its conclusion in 1985. Benson's strong personality ensures that any scene he's in, regardless of who shares it with him, is bound to be filled with entertainment and hilarity, thanks to the unpredictable situations he finds himself in. Number 8. Flying High. In the 1950s and 1960s, most TV shows predominantly featured male characters. However, by the 1970s, there was a noticeable rise in shows centered around women. One such example was Flying High, a comedy drama with a witty sense of humor, revolving around three attractive flight attendants. The production team specifically targeted models for casting, hoping their looks would attract viewers. Harvey Shepherd, who held a prominent role in sales at CBS during that time, played a significant part in the show's creation. After encountering the three models in an elevator pitch, he felt strongly that the network needed to produce this show. Despite the network's high expectations, Flying High ultimately fell short of success. The show was criticized for its shallow portrayal and inability to strike the right chord with audiences. After just 18 episodes, it was canceled, partly due to poor reviews and unfavorable comparisons to the immensely popular Charlie's Angels. Number 9. The Hathaways. The Hathaways, featuring Peggy Cass, Jack Weston, Marcy Grace Canfield, Harvey Lembeck, and Barbara Prairie, is a TV show that premiered on October 6, 1961, with one season whose price remains unknown. Despite warnings against working with kids or animals, ABC disregarded the advice when casting the Hathaways. Peggy Cass and Jack Weston enthusiastically portrayed parents living in the suburbs with a comedic twist. Their children were chimps. Being one of the first shows to feature animals on television, the Hathaways received partial sponsorship from Ralston Purina, a competitor of General Mills. Despite not achieving commercial success, the show's chimps gained enough popularity to warrant a spin-off comic book series in 1962. However, the idea was met with criticism from the start, costing the network significant funds. Critics deemed it possibly the worst network TV series, labeling it as utterly degrading. Nevertheless, it found favor among audiences fond of monkey-themed entertainment. Number 10. Different Strokes. Different Strokes chronicles the lives of two brothers, Arnold and Willis Jackson, who are adopted by Philip Drummond, a wealthy businessman, after their mother, who worked as his housekeeper, passes away. This adoption leads Arnold and Willis from Harlem to the upscale Park Avenue apartment of the Drummonds. Their journey unfolds against the backdrop of not just the disparity in their social statuses, but also the racial differences, as the Jackson boys are black living with a white family. While sitcoms typically maintain a light tone for broad appeal, Different Strokes broke ground by addressing weighty topics. Through its very special episodes, the series tackled issues like child abuse, substance abuse, and racism. Yet amidst these serious themes, viewers could still find enjoyment in the show's other episodes. Gary Coleman's portrayal of Arnold stands out, adding depth and charm to the character. Although the show may not dominate current discussions, fans appreciate its 8-season run for the engaging stories it offers with its memorable characters. Number 11. Little House on the Prairie. Despite the remarkable success of Laura Ingalls Wilder's autobiographical book series, the magnitude of the on-screen adaptation's triumph surpassed all expectations. Little House on the Prairie portrays the lives of the Ingalls family in a historical drama setting. Charles and Caroline serve as the parents to 3 daughters, and together they navigate life on a farm in Minnesota during the 1870s. In contemporary conversations, references to Little House on the Prairie often revolve around its distinctive aesthetic rather than its storyline. Renowned for its conservative attire in understated hues, the show stands in stark contrast to more ostentatious productions. Positioned in an unusual cultural niche, it's a title that many may recognize, yet fewer from the latest generation may have actually watched. With a run spanning 9 seasons and boasting over 200 episodes, the show undeniably achieved widespread popularity. However, much like its muted costuming, it has gradually receded into the background of popular culture. Number 12. PCs Bad Girl. PCs Bad Girl features Wendell Corey, Marsha Hunt, Patty McCormick, and Ray Farrell in leading roles. It premiered in 1959, running for 1 season. Adjusted for inflation, each episode's production cost was estimated at $45,000. The primary challenge PCs Bad Girl faced upon its 1959 release was a lack of audience comprehension. In an era dominated by idyllic portrayals and the popularity of figures like Lucille Ball, the show's satirical approach didn't resonate with viewers. Rather than embracing the comedic parody typical of family sitcoms, audiences struggled to connect with its outlandish storytelling. Interestingly, the concept of PCs Bad Girl originated in a 1918 silent film featuring Earl Fox, Corinne Baker, Riley Hatch, Eddie Sturgis, and Edward M. Faber in minor roles. While the CBS adaptation boasted appearances by notable personalities of its time, it failed to match the success of its cinematic predecessor, a 50-minute MGM movie. Some attribute this disparity to the casting of Patty McCormick as Tori Peck, suggesting that her portrayal may have obscured the show's comedic intent. Following its initial airing, PCs Bad Girl quickly faded into obscurity, with scant information available about the series. So much so that it lacks even a Wikipedia page, highlighting the show's limited cultural footprint. Number 13. Broadside. Edward Andrews, Dick Sargent, Sheila James, Kathleen Nolan, and Joan Staley lead the cast of the show, which premiered on September 20th, 1964. With only 1 season, it's estimated that each episode's production cost was $65,000. Broadside, airing in 1964, offered a refreshing take on war dramas by focusing on women in the Navy during World War II, with Kathleen Nolan in the lead role. Despite consistently good ratings, the show's abrupt cancellation came as a shock to many. Unlike typical military shows that often feel like advertisements for companies like Huntington Ingalls or Boeing, Broadside stood out with its clever scripts, solid direction, and passionate cast. Interestingly, the cast received honorary memberships to the Teamsters, granting them the legal right to drive the show's cars. However, due to limited space on the production lot for tropical exteriors, the series was canceled after just 32 episodes. This decision was particularly disappointing considering that another show using the same lot was relocated to Italy for continued filming, leaving Broadside with the short end of the stick. Number 14. Degrassi Junior High. Degrassi Junior High follows a group of teenagers navigating life at the titular school in Toronto. Unlike many other shows of its time, it fearlessly tackled issues like teenage pregnancy, child abuse, and sexuality. While these heavy topics sparked discussions in the late 80s, the show's lighter moments endeared it to fans. Arguably, the most popular installment in the Degrassi franchise, Degrassi: The Next Generation, provided a platform for rapper and actor Drake, catapulting him to success. However, none of this would have been possible without the foundation laid by Degrassi Junior High. Fans of the later series will recognize familiar faces like Spike, Joey, Caitlin, and Snake, whose stories began in the original series. Degrassi Junior High's innovative use of inexperienced actors set a precedent for the franchise. While the next generation boasted better writing and more complex characters, the original deserves recognition for its groundbreaking approach. Number 15. Convoy. Convoy, starring John Gavin, premiered on September 17, 1965, with only one season. The production cost an estimated $12 million. In the 1960s, amidst other war-themed TV shows, Convoy stood out, focusing on Commander Dan Talbot and his crew's efforts to supply troops during World War II. Despite its compelling premise, Convoy faced significant challenges. Being shot in black and white to incorporate old war footage limited its appeal in an era dominated by Technicolor shows. John Gavin, a former naval officer turned actor, found aspects of the show's portrayal of Navy life problematic. Initial ratings were low, and NBC worried about its appeal to female viewers until it was pointed out that women were involved in convoys during World War II. Ultimately, Convoy failed to capture the audience's attention and ended up sinking like a dead weight in the competitive TV landscape of its time. Number 16. Holmes and Yoyo. Holmes and Yoyo, starring Jack Sher and Lee Hewitt, premiered on September 25, 1976, but lasted only one season. Despite ABC's high expectations, the show failed to meet them. The network believed that featuring Yo-Yo as an android detective would add an intriguing twist to the typical detective comedy format. While the concept was ambitious, the execution fell short. Although ABC hoped for Holmes and Yoyo to rival popular detective shows like Starsky and Hutch or Cagney and Lacey, it didn't resonate with audiences. The show's attempt to blend detective elements with science fiction didn't capture viewers' interest as expected. While the producer drew inspiration from the character Stymie from Get Smart to create Yo-Yo, the show was criticized early on and deemed a failure. Despite its shortcomings, Holmes and Yoyo left a lasting impression, albeit not the one ABC had hoped for. It's even been listed among the 50 worst TV shows ever by TV Guide, highlighting its lack of success in the television landscape. Number 17. The Brothers Branagan. The Brothers Branagan, starring Stephen Dunn, Mark Roberts, and Barney Phillips, premiered on September 24, 1960. Despite having a limited budget, the production quality of the show remained commendable. The series followed the story of Mike and Bob, two brothers who utilized their detective skills to solve various crimes that crossed their path. While the concept of siblings solving crimes wasn't groundbreaking, the show still had potential. Despite not having the same financial resources as popular CBS or NBC programs of the time, the Brothers Branagan managed to attract notable guest stars like Anne McRae, Christopher Dark, Sterling Holloway, Flip Mark, Ron Haggerty, and even Burt Reynolds. Over the course of one season, Stephen Dunn and Mark Roberts starred in 39 episodes, airing over a few months in the early 1960s. Although the show didn't receive much attention, it had the makings of a typical TV drama that could have continued if budget constraints hadn't been an issue. Number 18. Chuck. Picture this. You're a tech whiz leading a support team when an unexpected email from an old college buddy lands in your inbox. Without a second thought, you open it, only to find yourself unwittingly implanted with the government's top-secret intelligence. Suddenly, you're thrust into the world of espionage, becoming the CIA and NSA's most valuable asset overnight. Not exactly the kind of twist Chuck Bartowski from Chuck saw coming in his daily routine. Balancing a double life as a spy and a regular guy? It's as challenging as it sounds. But amidst the chaos, Chuck delivers on its promise of excitement and entertainment. It's a blend of comedy, spy thriller, and action-packed adventure, offering audiences a guaranteed good time. Zachary Levi shines in the titular role, supported by a talented ensemble cast. Despite facing some bumps along the way, including the threat of cancellation after its second season, the show managed to secure 5 successful seasons. Thanks to its devoted fan base, who rallied behind it, Chuck was granted a second chance, proving that sometimes the power of fandom can work wonders. While it may not be making headlines today, its enduring popularity speaks volumes about its impact on viewers. Number 19. Bug Juice. For many kids, Summer camp is an essential part of the perfect summer experience. Luckily, Bug Juice offered viewers the chance to relive those camp memories right from their TV screens. This reality series, shot documentary style, delves into the lives of kids spending their summers away from home, whether they're seasoned camp veterans or first-timers. Set in Camp Wazayata in Maine for its first season, the show captures everything from classic camp activities like bonfires and kayaking to the ups and downs of camper relationships. Whether you're a 90s kid or not, Bug Juice is sure to stir up nostalgia for that carefree time in your life. The challenges the kids face are relatable to anyone who's ever been a kid, reminding us of the hurdles we all had to overcome growing up. Watching the show, you'll find yourself craving s'mores and alternating between cringing and laughing at the campers' antics. In 2018, Disney brought back the series, revisiting Camp Wazayata to document a new generation of campers. Yet, despite its revival, Bug Juice remains a cherished memory for many, quietly tucked away in the minds of its fans. Number 20. Hangin' with Mr. Cooper. After his basketball career with the Golden State Warriors, Mark Cooper takes an unexpected turn by becoming a substitute teacher and gym teacher at Oak Ridge High School in Hangin' with Mr. Cooper. The series chronicles his experiences at the school, his various roles, including coaching the boys' basketball team, and his relationship with his roommate Vanessa. Despite its sports backdrop, Hangin' with Mr. Cooper isn't your typical sports show. While Mark's basketball past is a significant part of the storyline, it doesn't overshadow the other aspects of his life or the new relationships he forms. The show gained attention when comedian Cat Williams accused Steve Harvey of stealing ideas and jokes from Mark Curry, the lead actor. Regardless of the controversy, Hangin' with Mr. Cooper remains a hidden gem from the 90s sitcom era. Number 21. Chalk Zone. Chalk Zone follows Rudy Tabooty, a 10-year-old boy dealing with bullies and a tough teacher at school. To escape his troubles, he turns to art and his drawings, which leads him to a fascinating discovery. While serving detention, Rudy discovers a special chalk that opens a portal to Chalk Zone when drawn on a blackboard. In this colorful world, anything sketched with chalk comes to life. Rudy befriends a chalk boy named Snap, and together with his real-life friend Penny, they embark on exciting adventures in Chalk Zone. Despite its short run of 4 seasons and 40 episodes, Chalk Zone left a lasting impact on its young audience. Many kids were inspired by the show's imaginative premise, sparking their creativity to dream up their own worlds. While Chalk Zone may have been overshadowed by bigger Nickelodeon cartoons like SpongeBob SquarePants and The Fairly Odd Parents in the 2000s, its charm and creativity remain cherished by those who fondly remember it. Number 22. Coronado IX. Rod Cameron takes on the lead role in Coronado IX, which premiered on TV on September 6, 1960. With only 1 season, each episode's production cost is estimated at $60,000 when adjusted for inflation. Cameron, a familiar face from the 1950s and 1960s, was a significant draw for the show's producers, who hoped his popularity would attract viewers. The series revolves around Dan Adams, portrayed by Cameron, a former U.S. Navy officer turned private investigator. Utilizing his naval skills, Adams tackles various cases throughout the show. Produced by Review Studios, snippets of Coronado IX can still be found on YouTube today. Despite featuring guest appearances by notable figures like Beverly Garland and Doug McClure, the show's DVD release by Timeless Media in December 2010 failed to generate significant success. Amidst personal turmoil, including a divorce and a subsequent marriage to his former wife's mother, Cameron faced challenges during the show's production. Director William Whitney famously praised Cameron's resilience, dubbing him the bravest man I've ever seen. Despite its brief run and eventual cancellation after 39 episodes, Coronado IX left a mark on television history, showcasing Cameron's talent amidst personal struggles. Number 23. The Secret World of Alex Mack. The Secret World of Alex Mack takes viewers on a Nickelodeon journey back to the 90s, where teenager Alex resides in Arizona, surrounded by adults employed at the local chemical plant. Following a near accident involving a truck from the factory, Alex finds herself drenched in a mysterious substance that grants her various powers, including telekinesis. However, these newfound abilities come with their own set of challenges, leading Alex to keep her transformation a secret, even from the factory's CEO, who resorts to questionable methods to address his troubles. While the concept may echo familiar themes seen in other franchises like pizza-loving Ninja Turtles or wall-climbing, web-slinging outcasts, The Secret World of Alex Mack offers a more youthful take on the trope. For those seeking a nostalgic laugh at the slightly dated special effects of yesteryears, this series delivers. Though the acting may not reach stellar heights and the cheese factor is palpable, it undeniably resonated with numerous children. The show even inspired a book series complementing its episodes and received a 20-year reunion special released on YouTube. As we journey through the forgotten gems of television history, it's clear that these shows, though often overlooked, have left a lasting impact on the hearts of many. Now, we turn the spotlight to you, dear viewers. What old TV show holds a special place in your heart, even if barely anyone remembers it? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're hungry for more nostalgic content about the TV shows of yesteryear, don't forget to like and subscribe for future updates. See you next time.